Right, Johnny Six takes. I ain't well. I don't need to be doing all these takes. I've got an headache already. I've got an illness on top of my stomach disease, and mate, I've had enough of a day, and I'm not looking forward to PSG. Normally, I look forward to my Tottenham games like we all do. And it's not just because the Arsenal loss. It's because I started researching, watching back the football again, watching the strategy of the football. I used to do that years ago. But since I had YouTube, I've stopped watching. I've stopped rerunning the game, watching the game 3 or 4 times, 5 times. But I had to. I've had to do it because I wanted to make my mind up properly so I could stand up behind something, because I'm normally quite positive. Yeah. Everyone's blaming the manager. The setup. I think there's a coaching failure. I think there's a managerial failure, and I think there's a player failure. And it's all come to a head. Not just because of the Arsenal game. I think the longer we play with Thomas Frank as manager and the coaching staff that he's brought in and the players that we've got, the more we're going to see this happen and happen and happen time and time again. It's going to be like a worse version of Ange. Ange had the injuries. I know we've got a lot of injuries. Don't get me wrong. And I told you, I'm normally positive, I normally get behind the managers, but I'm not having it now. And it's not just because of the Arsenal game. I just dislike his style of play. I've always disliked his style of play. I always tell you, he's never been my cup of tea, but I get behind him. But no, I'm a fan of direct front forward football. Unless you've got someone like Lamine Yamal on the wings, or Nico Williams, you know what I'm saying? Then it's a different matter. But I've always, if you ain't got that, you've got to rely on pure football. Let's just hit them direct. There's none of this taking it down the wings and hoping and crossing our fingers. I don't want that no more. I've had enough of the wings. I've had enough of people saying about wingers. We need this winger, we need that winger. Wait till Kulusevski's back. I keep telling you, Kulusevski ain't going to come back running. Nor is Dragusin. He ain't going to come back running. Maddison's not going to come back running. And for what it's worth, they're not all that anyway. They're not great anyway. They're good, but they're not great. They're not like an 81, 82 Tottenham team, are they? I mean, you could take the analogy of what today, in that squad that played Arsenal, what one of them players would have got in an 82 squad of Tottenham, 83 squad of Tottenham, an 84 squad of Tottenham, 85 squad of Tottenham. Please tell me. Hardly any of them. You'd probably say Bergvall would have got in one of them. And even then, we had fucking Glenn, Galvin, Crooksey, Hazard, Archibald, Ricky, Ozzy. Have I forgot a few? Brooksy, Falco. Now, we could go on forever. We had a squad. We had a squad. If one went down, at least fucking we had a compass mentis footballer who could play in 3 different positions, bruv. And play good in 3 different positions. Now, we have an injury, and it's like fucking hell. It's like a momentous occasion, which says that the transfers windows have been shit time and time and time and time again. Lange, Paratici, transfer windows, shit, get rid. Lange, Paratici, and Thomas Frank on top of that. Well, this is what you got. This is what you got. You got non-exciting football. And tell Thomas Frank's never been my cup of tea as a manager. Ever. Has he been my cup of tea as a manager? You know? If I could have any manager who I like their style of play, I couldn't tell you one. I'll probably say I like Koeman, Klopp, You know, I did like Angie's gung-ho football, nothing to lose football. I did like that. I didn't like the losses, mind you, and I didn't like the defensive work, but that's neither here nor there. I like that Spanish geezer who was World Cup manager when they won the World Cup. I forgot his name. Pardon me. It's just I'm not well. And if you're going to play passing football, you need that quality on the pitch. We ain't got that quality on the pitch. If you're going to play down the wings, yeah, you've got to have that quality on the pitch. We ain't got that quality on the pitch. So that just leaves us direct football. You know? Keep taking shots, keep getting through them in the middle, and just keep taking these shots and cross our fingers. That's bad, isn't it? That's bad when we can't fucking go from one to the other. What do they call it when we go from one to the other? You know, I've only ever played football. I've never managed transition. This is what it's called, isn't it? Transitional play. You know, switching from direct to wings, and putting pressure. And coming from someone who's played football, I look at what we're doing on the pitch. And don't get me wrong, I've never been in blinding teams. I've only ever played Hackney Marshes, grassroots, played against men, drunk men, played 5-a-side, 7-a-sides, 11-a-sides, you know. And yeah, I'm not seeing a gel together. I'm not seeing nothing like that. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of selfish players that we've got, right? And I'm seeing a lot of people who are getting the ump because they didn't get the ball. And I've never liked them sort of players anyway. You know? I've never seen that in a Tottenham team before. Never. Ever. But for the last 5 years, I've seen it a lot. Certain players, just judging by their facial expressions. Do you know what? When Redknapp done that interview last year on TalkSport, he went, I would have come back. I would have had you back, bruv, because you understand what I'm talking about. The look on the players' faces says a lot sometimes, you know. And I know he's like that. And no, I'm not enjoying it, boys. Not enjoying it. What do you think needs to be changed? Do you think the manager needs to go? Do you think 3/4 of the players need to go? I'm not having this excuse that they're not playing for the manager. I want proper explanations, because I'll give you an explanation. I don't think Mwani's all that. I don't think Simmons is all that in the Premiership. I don't think Tell's all that in the Premiership. Odegaard, quite like. Bergvall, quite like. Bentancur, sorry, I've got a stutter. Since the ACL, he just sit on the bench, bruv. You know, you're good for rotation and bringing you on, but that's about it. Paulinho, everyone thinks the sun shines out of his arsehole. Scored a couple of goals. Yeah, all right, mate. Van der Ven, inconsistent. Romero, inconsistent. Kevin Danzo, he can't stop heading these balls out fucking 7 yards, mate. If you're going to get the ball, don't head it, Kev. Just fucking leave it on your feet and just boot it fucking all the way up the other side of the field. You know, I want explanations. Because it's all right saying, oh, they're not all that, they're not all that. I don't want none of this FIFA bollocks. I want proper, old school, Tottenham Hotspur opinions on these people. You know? Have a good one. Baked potato. Love yous all. God bless and good health.